Good morning, everyone. A few things I want to talk about. But first, I got a question for you. And I'll answer that question sometime during this video. The question is, how big is a pigeon's bladder? Is it the size of a piece of rice, a pea, a walnut? Again, the question is, how big is a pigeon's bladder? Okay, moving on for the moment. I want to mention Loft again. In his reply to how he flies his lovettes and gets 22 hours out of them, he mentioned cleanliness. He keeps his birds as clean as he keeps himself, which must be pretty damn good. A long time ago, when I was doing construction, the guy I worked for always had me cleaning up with the laborer, learning the trade. And he said to me, "Danny, clean up, put all that away." And he said that cleanliness was very close to godliness. And that holds true for your pigeons. By keeping your loft clean and the water fresh, you're doing your pigeons a big favor. You're doing yourself a big favor. So try to keep your birds clean. If possible, at some point in time, paint your loft. Covers up a lot of things, dust, all kinds of things. Okay, let's move on. A lot of guys have a problem controlling their birds. And it's usually because they overfeed them a little bit or whatever. They let them get out of control. I know I've done it myself many times, just too heavy with the feed. But there's a saying. It says, the way the tree grows is the way you can make it grow. You often see when they plant a tree, they have two little sticks with a loop around them so that the tree can only go a certain way. And it's the same with your pigeons. If they get out of control, where they stay out or they go up on roofs and you just can't control them because you're not doing things correctly. Your pigeon should come out of the loft, fly, come down, and go in. And you do that with feeding. Now, you've heard me in the past say, they better come in or they're not going to eat. And that's true. So if you want that tree to grow nice and straight, make sure you tie it up. And if you want your pigeons to do what they're supposed to do, you control it with feed. You can't have them hanging out. I'm going to give you an example. Last year, I got a lot of late ones. I got them from Tony when he was sick. I just kept bringing them over. And they got out of control. When I was settling them, I got a mimosa tree behind my loft. And those birds went up in the tree. It got to the point when they were flying, when they were coming down, they would go in the tree first. And then, when I called them in, they would come in to eat. Who didn't come in, didn't eat. But once those birds got on the road, and I was training them, and I didn't go far, I only went maybe 25 miles with them the most when they were young. This is when they were young. I didn't race them because the molt got too heavy. But I got those birds under control. I took them out. They came home, and they went in. or they didn't eat. Some of them took 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, but they stopped going up in that tree because they knew when I called them, it was time to eat. And they got to the point where they hit the landing board and ran in. So maybe the tree was growing a little crooked, and then I tied it up and straightened it out. And you can do that with your birds too if they get out of control. They must fly, come down, and go in. They perform better. It's easier on you. You got no aggravation with them. You got no complaints from your neighbors. And now, the answer to how big is a pigeon's bladder. It's not big. There is none. Pigeons don't have a bladder. And it's one reason why they can fly. Like the lofts for 22 hours. Your pigeons can fly a 500-mile race, 14 hours on the wing. It's because they conserve their water. It's something for you to study. Look it up. Okay, again, thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. And please check the channel.